We are more connected than any humans in history, but the sheer volume of digital noise and algorithm-driven feeds leaves us completely overwhelmed. Because we spend so much of our lives inside these networks, we start outsourcing our sense of self. We let likes, shares, and external metrics dictate our identity and measure our personal success. This chart shows the friction. On one side, we have societal demands. On the other, our true inner authenticity. Over time, the space where we can actually be ourselves virtually disappears. We know we need a framework to reclaim our mental clarity. The problem is determining if clarity requires a complete withdrawal from the world we live in. This problem isn't new. In the 19th century, thinkers like Emerson and Thoreau developed Transcendentalism as a direct method for resisting societal pressure and maintaining individual integrity. At its core is the concept of self-reliance, the active practice of trusting your own inner moral compass instead of defaulting to institutional rules or societal expectations. Ralph Waldo Emerson was the movement's intellectual architect. He believed achieving this independence was a mental exercise, a shift in how you interpret the world. Then there was Henry David Thoreau. He took these ideas into the physical world, arguing that true independence required a literal rejection of societal norms. This sets up the central choice for anyone navigating modern digital life. To protect your attention, do you need to change how you think or change how you live? By comparing these two distinct blueprints, we can see the practical realities and the actual costs of trying to achieve independence today. If you prioritize your internal intuition, the payoff is substantial. You develop the ability to think critically and build a defense against the constant comparison traps of digital life. But that mental independence comes with a heavy toll. Trusting your own compass means you have to be willing to accept social friction and the discomfort of holding unpopular opinions. To cultivate that mindset, Transcendentalists used a specific strategy, spending deliberate time in nature to separate themselves from the noise of the crowd. Spending time in these environments provides the stillness needed for reflection and emotional stability, away from the constant demands of society. However, there is a risk here, the danger of taking these principles into the realm of total physical independence. Attempting a 100% rejection of social, economic, and political systems is highly impractical for most people. Complete isolation ignores the reality of modern survival. We rely on interdependent communities and shared infrastructure to function and grow. Since total isolation is counterproductive, we must evaluate exactly how we can apply self-reliance without dismantling our functional lives. To find that balance, let's look at this comparison matrix, evaluating Emerson's mindset against Thoreau's lifestyle across 4 key metrics. Emerson's approach is mental and philosophical. You stay integrated in society, but you change your internal perspective. The advantage here is feasibility. You can pursue personal growth without abandoning your career or your community. The flaw is that his concepts are highly abstract. Without clear rules, these ideas can be difficult to translate into specific real-world actions. In contrast, Thoreau's blueprint is defined by his physical experiment at Walden Pond. Thoreau's method involved minimizing material possessions, rejecting traditional work, and refusing to support systems he found unethical. The result was a life of profound simplicity and an active commitment to direct social reform. But the trade-off is a massive gap between those ideals and the daily reality of supporting a family or paying a mortgage. On our matrix, Thoreau's column is defined by an external, lived reality in both individualism and nature. For the average person, this lifestyle is impractical. You can't simply walk away from every obligation to live in the woods. However, when it comes to social reform, his method offers the power of direct, uncompromising action. Emerson provides a mental defense, while Thoreau offers a physical escape. Your choice depends on your own tolerance for risk and life disruption. To find your path, we've plotted these strategies on this chart. The vertical axis measures system engagement. The horizontal measures your desired outcome. We can rule out a total rejection of all systems while attempting a lifestyle overhaul. That path leads directly to social isolation. Consider a profile like the modern optimizer, a professional struggling with digital burnout and constant comparison. The optimizer sits in the top right quadrant, remaining integrated but needing mental clarity. For them, the Emerson blueprint is best. You keep your job and your life, but you use self-reliance as an internal filter to validate your decisions independently of the algorithm. Then there is the radical downshifter, someone who finds no meaning in material gain and is ready for a significant change. The downshifter moves toward the bottom right, accepting lower integration for a major lifestyle shift. Their path is the row light. You audit your material dependencies and intentionally prioritize your time over income and consumption. Using these principles today allows for a more intentional choice in how you participate in the modern world, moving away from reactive isolation. Selecting your own inputs creates a buffer between you and external pressures. It helps ensure that your decisions remain your own, rather than those of a programmed feed.